5 bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Chief Cody in his grim search for Polecat and Scrubby, the 2 hoodlums who are squaring up a fancied grievance against the fire department, and especially against Tim Collins, by pulling a night-long series of false alarms. But first, here's something you'll want to hear. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the location of Box 115, where, as you remember, Chief Cody has just held a hasty conference with Tim Collins. A moment ago, Tim said,
Chief Cody, these false alarms are timed just right.
How do you mean, Collins?
Well, now, look, the first was tapped in from Box 112 at 12 minutes before 1 o'clock this morning.
Right, I've looked at the report.
Right, and since then, Chief, every 8 or 10 minutes, another false alarm, just in time to catch us as we roll back to the fire station, or, if not, as soon as we get back to bed in the dormitory.
It's criminal, Collins.
Bad enough, Chief, if we had an accident on one of these runs, maybe put an engine out of action or injured some men.
I know, Collins. I can't think of anything worse than an accident on the way to a false alarm.
Well, sir, we take that risk on any run we make, but suppose a real emergency came up. Somebody really needed us when we were answering one of these fake calls for help.
It could happen, Collins. It's been known to happen.
And another thing, Chief.
Hmm?
I've been noticing how these alarms are planned, sir.
Oh, you've noticed that, have you?
Yes, sir.
First, 112 box was pulled. Then 116. Way over on the other side of your district.
Yes, sir. That means that somebody's traveling pretty fast from one box to another miles away.
Somebody in a fast car, Collins.
Not much doubt who it is.
I'll bet anything it's your 2 friends.
Yeah, those hoodlums, Polecat and Scrubby. Chief, can't the police check up on them?
I've got 2 police cars helping me patrol the district, Collins. We'll catch those rascals in the act sooner or later.
But it's getting late, Chief. It's getting to be time for the sun to come up. Suppose they sneak off home.
I'm going to check on their homes now, Collins. Going to find out if they're home in bed, where we're sure they're not. And then if they do show up, somebody will be ready for it.
As Chief Cody finishes his quick review of his plans, he orders Tim and Engine Company 209 back to quarters, and in his own car, sets out to follow a police guide to the home addresses of Polecat and Scrubby. Meanwhile, only a few blocks away from Box 115, from which a few minutes ago they sent in the latest in their series of vicious false alarms, Polecat and Scrubby sit in their fast car, hidden in an alley.
Hey, Polecat.
Now what? You getting cold again?
It's too quiet. How come only one engine come to the box instead of 3 engines and a big hook and ladder like before?
Oh, they ain't so dopey, you dope.
Who's a dope?
They ain't. Them firemen. They're catching wise.
I mean, they're catching wise. It's us that's pulling them boxes.
Nah. They're catching wise ain't no real fires. Not real fires, see? So they don't answer no more. But then they can't take no chance. They gotta answer the box somehow, so only one engine comes.
Well, that ain't right. Suppose maybe there's a real fire.
So what? So the engine that comes, that one tells the other guys, and then they come.
It ain't right.
What ain't?
Well, them guys, them firemen, they get paid for answering alarms, don't they? Well, what's the idea? They only send one engine. It ain't right.
The heck with it. Let's get moving, boy. We ain't through for the night yet.
Hey, hold it. Somebody coming.
Huh? Somebody here in the alley?
Oh, listen, out in the street there, a car.
That's just the engine going back till we pull another false alarm.
Oh, listen.
Hey, cops, a prowl car. Boy.
And another one. Hey, where they going, Polecat, all them cops?
That was no prowl car, that second one. That was a fire department. That was a battalion chief or something.
What are we going to do?
Pull another alarm. What do you think?
Well, all them cops and stuff, though.
The heck with him, Scrubby. They won't never catch us.
Well, you keep your lights out like we've been doing.
They won't never catch us, I said. Not the way I know these alleys. Listen, I can drive around all night and nobody ain't never even going to know we're there.
Okay, Polecat, if you say so. Let's find us another box.
And half an hour later, as the weary firemen, exhausted and raging from a succession of runs to imaginary fires, return again to the quarters of Engine 209.
Okay, Gonigal, back her in.
All right, boys, get some sleep if you can.
Oh, I'm going to stay here on the sidewalk, Lieutenant, get some air. All right with you?
Okay, Collins, don't get lost.
Oh, I won't get lost, sir. Just get some air. Try to keep myself awake.
Hey, what's that coming, Hooksy?
Oh, police car, I guess.
Okay, I'll be in my office.
All right.
Collins.
Oh, Chief Cody. I thought it was the police again. You want me to call the lieutenant, Chief?
No, let him get some rest if he can. Now, come over here to the car.
Yes, sir. We've had 2 more false alarms, Chief, since you picked us up at box 115.
Good, that's great.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Chief. Which side are you on?
Collins, you said yourself there's a plan to the way these fellows work.
Well, yes, I did, but...
First was the false alarm from box 112. Then 116, way across the district.
Then a box nearby, and the next way over on the other side again.
Now only 2 boxes in the district haven't been called. 119 and 114.
Well, then if you can figure which box they'll pull next...
I'll be there to meet them. Collins, where was the last call? From a box nearby or far away?
Box 119, right down the street here. Only 1 box is left.
Mm-hmm. Then box 114 is next, and that's where I'm going.
Well, good luck, Chief. Good hunting.
I'll bring you their scalps. This time those rats are done for.
Here we go, Scrubby. This is the last one.
Can't we stay in the alleys till we get near the alarm box?
Not this time, but who cares? We got the speed, ain't we?
Well, them cops has been zigging and zagging all over.
We see a prowl car, we just duck. After this box, we duck anyway.
Out of town, huh, Polecat? Like you said, we go somewhere till they forget about it?
Here's the street. Hang on, we're going to take off.
And Polecat, like you said, we're going to leave town, huh?
Yeah, sure, till they forget. Only they ain't never going to forget what we done to them tonight.
Creeps, they've been rushing them engines around for 3 hours. Never no sleep or nothing. Not tonight.
Some fun, huh, Scrubby?
We ain't never had no more fun.
I'll say.
Not even maybe the time we stole your old lady's canary.
And Jimpy down at the pool room would give us a box of cigars for it.
Yeah, and your old woman, we told her must have flew out the window and got run over.
Creeps, remember how the old woman hollered and cried?
How we laughed like we had to die after we got out of the house.
Some fun, huh?
I'll say.
I can hear the old woman screeching, yet just remembering it.
Yeah, so can I.
Hey.
Well, we coming to the firebox?
Yeah, the next corner, but...
Huh?
Hey, something is screeching. Something's coming up behind us.
Hey, that's a siren.
The cops.
Yeah, I think it... No, I said I don't want a fire chief, or what is it? Hey, Polecat, give it a gun. Get me out of there.
Hang on, Scrubby. Gonna swing wide. We got the firebox, see? We swing wide at the corner. Shoot straight down the alley instead of the street,
Well,
see?
step on it. He's right behind. Step on it, Polecat.
Great blazing blisters. They hit the truck. Stop here, Vito. That car's burning.
Okay, sir.
Leave the alleyway clear, Vito. Don't drive down there. Go tap in an alarm. When 209 gets here, send them straight down the alley to the fire.
Okay, sir.
I'll take our own extinguisher here. Get those men out of that bonfire if there's a chance in a million. Anybody alive in there? Cover your face. Don't breathe that flame.
Hey.
I'm coming in for you.
Hey.
As soon as I wash the fire back from that door. I've got the extinguisher right here.
It hurts.
Yes.
It hurts.
You bet it hurts. It's a wonder you're alive, mister. Here, I'll drag you clear.
I didn't do nothing.
Lie still. Don't try to move. You're safe here till the ambulance comes and the police.
I didn't do nothing. It was him thought of it. It was him false alarms, not me.
Him? The other one?
Yeah.
Where is he? He's not in that blazing wreck.
He was flying clear when we hit.
He was thrown out of the car? Speak up, man.
Hey, don't let him get away. Scrubby done it. Scrubby done it all.
Oh, there they come. Hey, bring that extinguisher. Knock down that fire before it spreads to those wooden fences.
Hey, there's a man lying here.
Well, never mind him. Knock down that fire. Collins.
Yes, sir.
Drag that man out of the way.
Okay, Chief.
All right, men, that fire is licked. Come over here, all of you. Come on, boys. All right, here they are. The men who've been pulling those false alarms all night. A couple of tough guys who thought they were too smart to follow the simple rules of decency and safety. Well, what do you think of them?
Chief Cody.
Yes, Collins?
Well, Chief, their car is wrecked, their bodies are wrecked, and When they get out of the hospital, they'll go right into jail.
Well, boy,
And, Chief Cody, it's tough, but when you ask for trouble, you're bound to get it. And it looks as if these men got just what they asked for.
And sooner or later, people who ask for trouble get what they want, like Polecat and Scrubby, soon to go to jail for their wretched defiance of the safe driving campaign and criminal prank of pulling false alarms. As for Chief Cody and Tim Collins, new adventures await them, as you'll hear in our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own hometown. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with some tips you might like to know about firefighting. For instance, you may not know that we think of fires as coming in 3 separate classes. Class A is a fire in wood or paper or any other ordinary kind of material that burns easily. And a Class A fire can usually be controlled by cooling it down, lowering the temperature with water or some kinds of extinguisher spray. Soon I'll tell you about the other kinds of fire. But that's all for now. You'll hear from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go! Firefighters! Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll drop in for a quiet evening at the home of Tim Collins, where no evening is quiet for long, thanks to Tim's brother Jimmy and sister Trudy. But that's where we'll meet Fire Chief Cody just as soon as you've heard this important message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the home of Tim Collins, the young fireman. The time is right after the evening meal when Tim's brother Jimmy and sister Trudy are doing the dishes in the kitchen. And at the same time, Jimmy is rehearsing his part in the fire prevention play, which is soon to be given at the Firefighters Brigade at Northwest.
I am the spirit of fire prevention. Lo, like a knight in arming shiner, I stand my take to being my people in disaster.
Oh, Jimmy, that's terrible.
The whole thing is terrible. Why did Miss Grabble have to butt in?
Well, Miss Grubble always writes the school pageants and things. She thinks she's doing us a favor.
A favor? Oh, look, there's something stuck on this plate.
Well, she took a long time writing that fire prevention play, and we don't want to hurt her feelings. Now it's clean.
Oh, sure. She's kind of nice when she isn't doing us favors.
Oh, she's sweet. Don't stack those glasses, Jimmy. You'll crack them.
I gotta make room for the silver, don't I?
Well, you could put the glasses away first, couldn't you? My goodness, it won't kill you to reach up and put them in the cupboard.
Okay, you don't have to bite my head off. Besides, she has charge of auditorium.
Well, who has?
Miss Grabble, foolish.
Oh, yes, and that's another reason we ought to be nice about our old pageant.
Oh, gosh, Trudy, everybody in the whole Firefighters Brigade, all the fellas anyway, we'd rather put on your old play instead of Miss Grabble's.
What, Mom? The one I wrote? Oh, that silly old thing.
Don't be foolish. Your play has some sense in it. Gosh, at least it has something going on in it.
Oh, my goodness, I didn't know anybody liked the play I wrote. Are you sure, Jimmy?
Sure, I'm sure. It's got real firemen instead of K-Knights.
Well, then I know why.
What?
Why can't we do both?
Huh? Both what?
Both fire prevention plays. We can put on Miss Gribble so she'll be happy, and we'll put on mine, too, so everybody else will be happy.
Hey, that's it. That's what we'll do.
Then everybody better learn their parts in Miss Gribble's play, so she'll say yes when we ask if we can put on mine.
Gosh, it's tough, but we can do it.
Then let's hear you say your lines again. And this time, say it right. No K-Nights and arming shiners.
Okay, like this.
Go ahead. We're all through with the dishes. Hurry up while I dump out the dishwater.
I am the spirit of fire prevention. Lo, like a knight in shining armor, I stand between my people and disaster.
Oh, Jimmy, that's beautiful. I just know she'll love it.
Meanwhile, Chief Cody, guest for the evening at the Collins home, is chatting with Tim and his mother.
Well, Collins, my boy, it's a pity you have to rush off like this.
Now, Bob Cody, you stop teasing my Tim.
Oh, he understands my position, Mom. Here I have to rush out of the house, run over to Engine Company 209, and report for duty right on the dot, just because I work for a hard-hearted tyrant.
Now, Tim, that's no way to talk about Lieutenant Greenspan, not even in fun.
Oh, I didn't mean the lieutenant, Mom. He's regular. I mean the real boss, Chief Cody.
Glory be.
Yes, ma'am, Chief Cody. Now, there's a tough man to work for.
Yeah, you young rascal. You get along and report for duty, or I'll have Greenspan set you to painting the firehouse by yourself, single-handed with a toothbrush.
Stop it, both of you. I never know when you're making your silly jokes.
All right, Mom, we'll be good.
You two are as bad as Jimmy and Trudy. Now, kiss me goodnight, Tim, and run along. If you answer any alarms tonight, be sure you wear that scarf I gave you. It's chilly out.
Yes, ma'am. What about Trudy's plans, those house plans she's making for school?
Oh, dear, she wanted you to look at them, didn't she?
House plans? Well, now what?
Well, it's for some class at Northside School, Chief Cody.
All the girls are planning houses. Trudy has her drawings here somewhere, but she got so interested in that play.
Yeah, she and Jimmy put me through the 3rd degree this afternoon about that fire prevention play of theirs.
Instead of getting Tim to look at her house plans. Glory be, those two are so busy with so many things. Well, I don't know.
I know. Chief Cody, that's your assignment for the evening. Oh, when the kids get through with the dishes, would you do that? I mean, take a look at Trudy's design?
Well, of course I will. Nothing I'd like better.
Oh, Grant, she'll get a kick out of that.
Run along, Tim. You'll be just in time.
All right, I'm on my way. Night again, Mom. Good night,
Good night,
Chief Cody.
Good night, son. Take care of yourself.
Those are Trudy's plans, Bob. They're on the table. If I get up, I'll spill all my sewing things.
Well, I can't find them.
Well, they're there at your elbow, under the school books.
Oh. Hey, that Trudy of yours is pretty thorough. Floor plans for a house with 1, 2, 4 floors and a basement.
She's had Jimmy helping her with it all week. She wouldn't show them to Tim or me until they were finished.
And now they're done, huh? Uh-oh.
Something wrong with them?
This is bad, Mrs. Collins. This isn't good at all. We'll have to straighten this out. The work is fine, Trudy, fine, but it's the design of your house I don't like.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, now, darling, you see, it isn't all wrong. Chief Cody says the drawings are very good.
Ha-ha, you hear what she says, Trudy?
Oh, you.
Now, why is Jimmy so pleased when Trudy isn't?
I'm sure I don't know. After all, they worked together on those plans.
Oh, Jimmy thinks he's so smart.
Chief Cody, I did the work. I did the drawing, but Trudy did the thinking. She told me what to draw.
You say the drawing's all right and the thinking's all wrong. My goodness, why should I be pleased?
Well, now we're getting somewhere. There's nothing wrong with your thinking, Trudy. It's the thinking of the architect who thought up this plan in the first place that I don't like.
Architect?
The designer, man who first laid out this kind of house.
Oh, but I don't know any architect, Chief Cody. What happened was Miss Lamini, she's our home ec teacher. Miss Lamini said let's all make some house plans and see what kind of houses people live in our city. And we all said let's, and so...
Exactly. That's what I thought.
If you don't mind an interruption from the sidelines, I don't know what to think. What are you all talking about?
Well, ma'am...
Well, you see,
Mommy,
it's
I was...
After you, my young friend.
Well, you say, Jimmy. I did, but I guess I went too fast.
Well, you see, Mom, these drawings, Miss Lamini told the home ec girls to make floor plans of the homes they live in. Or somebody's house, anyway.
And then after, we compare the plans and see for ourselves just how many kinds of houses there can be and what's good about them and what isn't.
And right away, Chief Cody sees something that isn't good about the plans you and Jimmy made.
And we drew Gilda Minocchio's house, Mommy.
Gilda Minocchio's house. Well, they live over on 8th Street, don't they?
Oh, I thought so.
That solid row of old houses with stone fronts and high stone steps going up.
And the basement. The basements are almost as high as the sidewalk. Just like another whole floor. So Gilda has 5 stories in her house. But it's only 1 room wide.
Why, that... Well, Chief Cody, that sounds
Yes, ma'am. What we used to call the railroad flats.
Oh, dear, I didn't realize. Well, I thought those were all torn down. back in the children's father's time.
Ben tried hard to get rid of them, Mrs. Collins. At least there won't be any more built in our city, not without proper protection.
Protection?
Against what? Besides, they aren't flats or even apartments at all.
There's no railroad, not for miles and miles.
Railroad flat. Now, that was an architectural crime.
For children, Chief Cody means that kind of house isn't very safe to live in. They weren't planned very well.
Now, look at this design of yours, Trudy. Jimmy.
Oh, my goodness, I think I see what you mean.
Hey, so do I. Each floor is just one room wide, but it goes right through the building, one room behind the other.
3 rooms in a line, like a railroad train.
And here at the sidewall, you see, the stairs. 1 flight of stairs, and on each floor.
A landing with the rooms opening off it. Gee, that isn't good, is it?
And if there's a fire on the stairs, well, how are you going to get out when the only stairs you have are burning up?
That's just it, kids. You stay there and take your chances until the truckmen get you out with a ladder. That's why this type of dwelling isn't built anymore.
Oh, but Gilda Minocchio lives in one just like this, Chief Cody. Her father and mother bought the whole house. It used to be a different family on each floor.
And gee, the way they fixed it up, it's beautiful. Gosh, the nicest house in town, even if it used to be a railroad flat.
But they must have put in a fire escape, Chief.
Oh, of course they did. Only safe thing to do. Building code insists on it, too.
Fire escape. Trudy, didn't Gilda say something?
Yes, that's the only thing they didn't.
What?
Well, Gilda said they're going to put in a fire escape on the back of their house. The inspector said they had to.
But they haven't as yet. They were allowed to move in before
Oh, dear, what a shame.
Oh, we'll have to see about this.
Now, Chief Cody, don't you go scolding Gilda Minocchio's father and mother. They're the nicest people.
No, Trudy, but you do see, don't you, why I said there's something wrong, very wrong with this type of house.
I certainly do. That old architect just didn't think about fire hazards. And now I can give a real speech when I show my design to home ec class. Won't Miss Lamini...
Hey, they're rolling. Coming this way.
Going right past the house.
I bet that was Tim. That sounded like 209.
Where are they going, Chief Cody?
I don't know, but Mrs. Collins, it's getting late, and since that fire seems to be close by, I'm off duty, of
run
course.
along, Bob. Glory be, you'd only fret if we tried to hold you. Don't make excuses.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Good night, all.
Good night. And Bob Cody, make sure my Tim is wearing his scarf. It's chilly tonight.
Well, that's a fair sample of a fireman's life. Chief Cody settles down to enjoy a quiet evening, and the moment Tim Collins rolls past the house on engine 209, the chief is off to the scene of the fire. He doesn't know yet that he is soon to meet Trudy's friend, Gilda Minocchio. But you'll hear all about it in our next thrilling true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with another tip about real firefighting. Remember, I said a Class A fire is one that can be put out by cooling down the temperature, perhaps with water. But a Class B fire is one that involves burning liquid, like oil, and it must be smothered. Sand or dirt may smother a small one, but for others, we use chemical foam or spray that cuts off the air. Well, that's all for now. You'll hear from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Chief Cody, who's spending a quiet evening as a guest at the home of Tim Collins, though the young fireman himself has left to report for duty at Engine Company 209. A thrilling adventure is about to begin, and you have just time for this important message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the home of Tim Collins, the young fireman, where Chief Cody is spending the evening as a guest. As you remember, Tim's young brother and sister have been working on a set of house plans for Trudy's class in home economics. And as soon as Chief Cody glanced at Jimmy's drawings, he recognized them as...
The old-fashioned railroad flat kind of construction. That's bad.
And it is a bad layout for a home, because as Chief Cody once told the young fireman in training school months ago when Tim Collins was only a probationer.
Men, a fireman should know as much about building construction as a contractor. And this type of building, the kind you see here in this model, is bad.
Hey, well, what's bad about it, Chief?
What's bad about it? Well, let's see if you can figure it out for yourself.
Chief Cody.
Yes, Collins?
Chief, isn't that what they used to call a railroad flat?
That's right, Collins. And used to is correct. Nowadays, we discourage this type of building plan.
Oh, what's it got to do with the railroad system?
Oh, I call it that because it's... excuse me, Chief.
That's all right, Collins. Go ahead. Tell us, why is this kind of building called the railroad flat?
Well, sir, because each floor is laid out like a railroad car, maybe, or a string of cars. Well, I mean...
You've got it, Collins. On each floor, there's one room right behind another, from front to back of the building.
Yes, sir. So you got a sort of narrow string of rooms, a flat or apartment or tenement or whatever, only one room wide that goes all the way through the building.
Right. And as a rule, you find a whole block of these buildings in a row, each one made up of 4 or 5 railroad flats, one above another.
Yeah, well, how do you get upstairs?
Well, look at the model here. Collins?
Well, in each floor, all the rooms open to a landing, and the stairs kind of zigzag from one landing up to the next.
All right, go on.
Yeah, but where's the fire hazard?
Oh, hey, I get it. There's only one flight of stairs. If a fire gets into that stairwell, you're caught. You can't get out because there's only one flight of stairs.
Right, Collins. And that's why this type of construction is bad. And nowadays, we insist on an outside fire escape to make this bad design as safe as we can.
And as Chief Cody, visiting with Trudy and Jimmy Collins, explains these facts that every fireman already knows about house construction, Trudy's friend and classmate, Gilda Minocchio, is doing her homework in her room on the 4th floor of just such a building as her mother comes into the room.
Oh, Mommy, you startled me.
I thought you heard me come in, dear. I just want to look in the baby's room.
Oh, he hasn't stirred, Mommy, not once all evening.
Still working on those house plans, Gilda?
Well, I'm almost done. Miss Lamini said take all the time we want, but Trudy Collins is almost through with hers, and I don't want her to get done first ahead of me.
Why'd you take our own house here for your project?
Oh, I'm sick of it.
Gilda, so soon? We just moved in. Why, there's still so much to do.
Oh, well, Mommy, I didn't mean I don't like our new house. I love it. But, well, we've been so full of it for months. That is... Well, I mean, you and Daddy talking about all the new wallpapers and things, and, well, it is beautiful,
well,
but...
it wasn't easy to plan, you know.
Well, I know. Well, taking an old house and making it so new, and I do love it. Well, who else has 5 whole floors, all for one family? And Baby and me a whole floor to ourselves.
I don't know, Gilda. You and the baby alone on the 4th floor. Of course, Daddy and I are right down on the 2nd floor.
Oh, I'd always call you if the baby needs something.
Of course, dear, but... Oh, maybe we should move you down to the 3rd, or us up to the 3rd. But there's still so much to do. We can settle that later.
Like the fire escape.
Oh, my, the fire escape. Yes, that's another thing. We've got to have that fire escape put in the rear of the house.
Gee, that'll be fun. A fire escape right outside my window.
My, there's still so much to do.
Oh, my, I wish I didn't have this old house plan still to do for Miss Lamini. When's Daddy coming home to help me?
Oh, he'll be home soon. Unless he phones to say he won't.
Oh, there's your pretty blouse. You just unpacked it.
It is pretty, isn't it?
You want me to press it for you, Mommy?
No, I'll put it on this hanger. Be all right when it hangs for a while.
Oh, you better let me press it, Mommy. It won't take a minute.
Now, Gilda, you're not fooling me for a minute.
Oh, Oh, Mommy, fooling you?
Not a bit. Just finish up your homework and don't try to keep me here interrupting you any longer.
Oh, Mommy, aren't you ashamed saying such things about your eldest child?
Eldest and prettiest, darling. Yes, your brother is beautiful as babies go, but he certainly isn't pretty. Well, now I'm going down to my room and hang up this blouse. You get right back to work, my eldest and prettiest. Let me know if your brother peeps.
So Gilda's mother goes contentedly down the stairs, down past the third floor to the second, and into the big bedroom where she snaps on the light in the wall bracket near the windows.
Oh, my, it is a pretty blouse. I'll hang it here in the light bracket for a second till Oh, I mustn't leave it there. It'll scorch. The light bulb was hot. Oh, now, where did I put my spot remover? I'm sure it was in... Oh, my, the telephone. That's Danny. I've got... I'm coming. Oh, my, way down to the first floor.
Mrs. Minocchio, leaving her pretty blouse hanging from the light bracket with a hot bulb only inches from the fabric, hurries down the stairs to the first floor to the telephone in the hall.
I'm coming. Hello, Danny? Oh, hello, darling. I was up in our room. And, darling, we simply got to have a telephone upstairs. I can't be... What? A phone in every floor in the basement, too. 5 telephones. Oh, Danny, you're such a... Well, how soon will you be home? We miss you. All right, half an hour, then. I'll hang up so you can... What? Your tax record? Down here in the big desk. Left-hand drawer. Yes, darling, I'll find them. I'll get them right away. Now, hurry home. Left-hand drawer, Danny said. I'll get them out so they'll be ready before I forget about them. Oh, my, there's so much to do. Sure, I forget half the things I should remember.
And already she has forgotten one most important thing she should have remembered. That pretty blouse hanging in her bedroom where the hot light bulb begins to scorch it. Soon a little flicker of flame is born. It begins to feed on the curtains nearby, spreads to the woodwork and furniture, begins to gnaw at the ceiling, until Mrs. Minocchio, browsing over her husband's tax records on the first floor, is startled to hear overhead.
Oh, Gilda! Gilda, dear! That's funny. She doesn't answer. Fire! Fire! My baby!
Get that hydrant, Rocky. Hook up before the 207s beat us to it. Here, Lieutenant.
That woman! Get your woman in the doorway!
Okay, Lieutenant.
My babies are up there.
Whoa, what's that, ma'am? Children upstairs?
Top floor, my baby.
How many?
Gil.
Oh, Mrs. Pinocchio. Wait a minute. Gilda's up there and your little boy? Lieutenant!
Yo!
2 kids on the 4th floor. High school girl and a baby.
Ladder company. Throw a ladder to that top floor.
Okay,
Collins.
Here, Chief Cody.
Get the mother out of the way.
No, let me stay.
We'll get your children out, say.
You can't, I tried.
Great, Chief, look at her hand.
First aid. Over here, first aid.
I tried, you can't get to my baby. The stairs are a massive place.
There's no back staircase, Chief. One of those old-fashioned houses, railroad flats. Not even a fire escape.
Ready with the ladder?
And going up!
Oh, here's the first aid, ma'am. You go with him
No,
now.
I got to find my baby.
Mrs. Minocchio, listen to me. Look, there are men climbing here.
Don't take me away.
Mrs. Minocchio, if I go up that ladder myself, look, you know me, Tim Collins.
Hurry it up, Collins.
Mrs. Minocchio, I'll go up that ladder myself. Everything that can be done for your kids will be done. Now help us. Go with the first aid man, please.
You promise?
I promise. All right, Chief Cody?
Go ahead, Collins. You have permission to go up that ladder with the truckman. Go ahead.
Lieutenant, I'm going up the ladder. Help the truck man bring out those kids.
All right, first aid. Her hands are burned. Go along, ma'am. The 209s, this way.
Okay.
Take a line of hose up the front stairs. 207, go in the windows to the second floor. The second floor is all ablaze. Come on, don't fall asleep.
Well, now, it's lucky that Chief Cody was visiting the Collins home only a few blocks away when Gilda's house caught fire, because he lost no time in reaching the scene. And as Tim Collins climbs the ladder to the 4th floor, we know that Gilda and her baby brother will be safe in a matter of moments. For details of this thrilling rescue, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with the last of our little tips on how firemen group fires in Class A, B, or C. Class A, remember, can be cooled off, and Class B can be smothered, usually with water or chemicals. But a Class C fire is a fire in live electrical equipment, and never use water on a Class C fire, because water conducts electricity and can do great damage. So for Class C, your firemen use chemical instead of water for smothering and cooling. Well, that's all, and goodbye for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Firefighters.
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Chief Cody and Tim Collins at the scene of the fire in Gilda Minocchio's home, where Gilda and her baby brother are trapped on the smoke-filled 4th floor. But before we report to the chief, here's something you should know. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the street outside Gilda's home, a tall, narrow building, one of a solid row of houses where fire has broken out in the 2nd floor. At the first alarm, a ladder truck and 3 engines, including Tim Collins' company 209, rolled to the scene. And as Chief Cody arrives, he finds Tim struggling with Gilda's mother on the front step.
Collins! Okay, Collins! Here, Chief Cody.
Let me go, my baby. They're on the 4th floor.
Can you get that woman out of the way?
She's burned her hands, Chief Cody. She's trying to get back into the house to get up those stairs.
Look, baby, please, I've got to help
Mrs. Pinocchio, listen, we'll save Gilda and the baby. Look, there goes the ladder to the 4th floor.
Men are going right up, ma'am. We'll save your youngsters. Hold her, Collins.
Mrs. Pinocchio, please, you've got to listen. You know me, Tim Collins. Look at me.
Yes, you're Tim Cody's brother.
That's right. Now, listen, I'll go up that ladder myself. I promise I'll bring your kids out if you'll just let us take care of you. Let First Aid attend those burns.
You promise, Tim, you promise you'll get them out?
First aid. First aid this way.
That's okay, Chief. You'll let me lend the hook and ladder boys a hand.
Go ahead, boy. Don't waste time. Get those kids out.
Yes, sir. You'll have both your kids back inside 5 minutes, Miss Pinocchio.
Oh, he will. I know he'll save them. He will save them, won't he?
Why, of course he will, ma'am. Now, here's the first aid man. Let him look after those burns. Well, Joe, get her across the street, will you?
Yes, Chief.
Yes, whatever you say, Chief. I know you'll save my baby.
Hurry through, Chief! All right, 209. Get your line up those stairs. Drive that fire back into the 2nd floor.
Hey, hit that fire!
207. Go in the windows to the 2nd floor. 2nd floor's all ablaze. Kennedy. Lieutenant Kennedy.
Here, Chief.
Tap in the 2nd alarm.
2nd alarm. Okay, Chief Cody.
111. Ladder 111. Open up that roof. Let out that smoke and gas. Well, come on. Don't fall asleep. Get out.
As Chief Cody directs his fight against the fire that rages all through the 2nd floor, the truckmen throw ladders to reach all floors. Tim's own engine company drives the flames back from the stair shaft, while other men with hoses go through 2nd-story windows to meet the fire head-on. Hook and ladder men hack a hole in the roof to let the choking smoke and explosive hot air escape, while Tim, climbing nimbly, overtakes the truckmen who are already breaking into the 4th floor through the window.
Hey, watch yourself, Rubbernose.
Let the smoke clear out so you won't be eating it all.
There's enough for both of us, Murphy.
Hey, Murphy, wait for me. Huh? Hey, it's Hooksy Collins.
That smoke cleared out, Murphy.
Come up and sniff for yourself, me boy. We're about to go in, me and Rubber Nose here.
Hiya, Hooksy. What gives?
Hello, Rubber Nose. Murphy, the chief sent me. I know the layout here. There's front room, a sort of playroom, then the bathroom and the girls' room. And beyond that, the baby's room.
All right, then it's you that'll come with me, Hooksy.
What about me, Murph?
You follow us in, Rubber Nose, and ventilate.
The windows?
Yeah, open all you can get at, Rubber Nose. And then stand by here at the ladder.
And if we're not back in good time, if the smoke should get us...
what's a little smoke? It's the children inside that'll be consumed with the smoke.
Well, then get out of my way, Murphy.
Age before beauty, me fire laddie here. Come along. There we go. Now, down on all paws, Hooksy.
Right.
From here on, we crawl.
I'll sing out so you won't get lost.
All right. Oh, black as Egypt it is. What have we here? A fine big closet?
No. Tile floor, the bathroom, Murphy.
All right, no time for a shower here, Hooksy. Come along at my heels.
Next is the girls' room.
Yeah, with the doors shut tight.
Collins! Murphy, hurry it up.
Good boy, Rubber Nose, to the grand pair of lungs. Now, the question is, does the girl's door keep the smoke out or keep it in? Crack the door open. Easy as easy. Smoke, thicker than water. They'll be smothered, the two of them.
Move along, Murphy. Go straight on through. Get to the baby's room. I'll find the girl.
Murphy, this way. Collins. Keep coming this way. All right, boys. Keep coming. I'll come after you.
Stay where you are.
Got you, Murphy. Here. Where's Collins?
He's coming. Hooksy got the girl.
I'll drag you to the window.
Easy now. Now, the little one here.
Huh? Little one. The baby? Are you nuts, Murphy?
Let me breathe.
Murphy, the baby. Where?
Let be now. He's under me coat, the little fella.
Why, you'll smother him.
Go help Collins, Rubber Nose. He's dragging the girl.
But the baby, he can't breathe.
He's snug enough beneath my coat. And how would he be if the fresh air was to strike his lungs and him full of smoke?
Sure, Murphy. Air, he couldn't take it.
Rubber Nose, give me a hand here. I'd be killed dead by the air. You go and help Hooksy, will you?
Yeah, come in, Hooksy.
Tell him to cover the girl's face. No fresh air till it's safe for her to breathe it.
Saved from the deadly smoke that filled the burning building, Gilda and her baby brother are given first aid and sent off to the hospital for special care. Chief Cody fights the fire to a finish. And hours later, after the engine companies have picked up their lines and rolled back to quarters, and the truckmen have completed their overhaul of the wreckage, Chief Cody sends a special message to certain of his men.
Hey, Rubber Nose.
What gives, Murphy?
Could I trouble you for the loan of your brass polish? After your own buttons are all shined up, that is to say?
Buttons? Who's going to shine buttons?
Well, now, it seems like you and me and Hooksy Collins over the 209, it seems like we'll be shining brass all the blessed day instead of catching a bit of shut-eye. That's for us chat with Chief Cody, you understand.
Chat? With Chief Cody?
That's right.
What are you getting at, Murph?
Oh, no, didn't I tell you now? Oh, well, here's the notice, Rubber Nose. Here.
What? Let me see that.
Special from the chief, it is. You and me and Hooksy, you see it says right there,
yeah.
We're to report without fail tomorrow night before logging in at company quarters. You see what it says?
Well, how do you like that? And what for? What did we do wrong?
Who knows? Except only the chief.
And Hooksy. Nobody's going to clean a record at Hooksy.
Oh, now, what good is it to worry now? Now, sure, the chief is a kindly man. What more can he do but eat the heads off of us?
But if we only knew what we did wrong to get called up on the carpet. Now I'll get no sleep worrying about it.
And the next evening, as fire department privates Robidoux and Murphy, with Private Tim Collins leading the way, file into Chief Cody's office, they still do not suspect the reason for this unusual summons, even when Gilda's mother comes toward them with outstretched hands.
Oh, it's so kind of you to meet me like this. I asked the chief over and over what my husband and I can do. We do so want to reward you somehow, though we never could repay you for what you did for us.
Oh, no, ma'am. It was all in the day's work. That's all, boys.
Oh, sure, man. But
Well, there's nothing to make a fuss about.
That's true, Mrs. Minocchio. We just do the best we can.
Sure, there's nothing at all.
Oh, but please, Chief Cody, isn't there anything I can do?
I told you how it'd be, ma'am. We firemen don't expect and don't accept any reward. You've done enough just by letting these boys know that you're truly grateful.
Well, no, Chief Cody. Maybe there's just one thing.
Huh?
Oh, what is it?
It's about those kids of yours, ma'am. Now, the boys and me, we've been kind of worried. Tell us now, what did the doctors say? Are those kids going to be all right?
Yes, well, you see, you got them out just in time. Well, they'll be fine. Not a trace of that terrible experience.
Did you hear that, boys? The kids are okay. Ma'am, that's all the reward we want. And thanks to you for telling us that.
Oh, it's all right.
It's a pleasure, ma'am. Anytime we can...
And that's all the reward a firefighter seeks. That when his chance comes, he can win complete victory over the demon of fire. But after the fire at Gilda's house, Chief Cody has a bone to pick with Trudy Collins, Tim's young sister. And you'll hear all about it when Chief Cody invites Trudy to visit Fire Department headquarters in our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with a question to ask. How long is it since you inspected for rubbish? Old papers and odds and ends that pile up in a home unless you keep disposing of them. Well, my hunch is that it's time you had a checkup. Look for piles of paper and other rubbish that could feed a dangerous fire. Now, clean up that hazard. And by doing so, do your share to protect lives and property. Well, that's all for now. You'll be hearing from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In a few minutes, we'll hasten to the office of Chief Cody at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is expecting 2 of his favorite visitors, Jimmy and Trudy Collins, brother and sister of fireman Tim Collins. But before we learn what this meeting is about, here's something else you should know. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Chief Cody's office at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is expecting a couple of important visitors. Only yesterday, Chief Cody met the Collinses, fireman Tim with his brother and sister, at the scene of the recent fire in the home of Gilda, Trudy's friend. Out in front of the house, Tim was saying to the children,
Hey, hold on, you two. Don't cross those ropes.
Gee, Tim, can't we get closer?
Oh, my goodness, nothing can fall on us just there. We only stand on the sidewalk.
No? What do you suppose those ropes are for?
Oh, just for sort of a hint. So people won't walk on the sidewalk in front of the house and maybe sort of edge up the steps just to look in and then maybe just look around inside for a minute
And crash. Down comes the ceiling on their heads.
Or smash. Down they go right through the floor into the cellar.
And then splash.
Splash? What's that for?
Water in the cellar. Tons and tons. Isn't that right, Tim?
Oh, no. That's all been pumped out.
I want to see.
No. Come back here. You stay outside those ropes.
Oh.
Hey, Tim, where's the window you and Smokey Joe Murphy and Mr. Rubber-Nosed Rubberdo climbed in?
I know. That center one up on the fourth floor.
It was not. In the picture in the paper, it was the second from the end.
Oh, Tim, that was a terrible picture. All that showed was your boot.
All right, now, look, kids, if you brought me over just...
Hey, Tim.
Huh?
Somebody's in the house. Golly, do you suppose they're trying to steal what didn't get burned?
Ooh, burglars. Let's catch them.
Don't be foolish. That place is all locked up. There's
Well, maybe
no
it's locked up, but the door's opening just the same.
You're right. I better look into this. Hey there, you!
Who, me?
Hey, it's Chief Cody.
Oh, Tibby, you're being fresh to the chief. You yelled at Chief Cody.
I didn't know who it was, Chief. These kids wanted me to catch a burglar for them.
Well, now, Jimmy, Trudy, you'll have to practice on somebody else. I have lawful business hereabouts, and I can prove it.
Checking over the condition of the building, Chief?
That's right, Collins. The second floor where the fire started is in bad shape. But the framework is pretty solid.
When can Gilda's family move back in?
Not for months, can they, Chief? Until all the insides get rebuilt.
No, not for months, Jimmy. And not even then. Unless they do what they should have done in the first place.
I know. Put up a fire escape. Of course, there's only one stair.
That's right, Trudy.
And just because the artichoke didn't know about fire prevention and safety and things.
Just because the who?
Architect. The man that planned the house before it ever got built.
Tim, was that what she said, architect?
Well, if she didn't, we knew what she meant.
And you've convinced her, Chief, that planning for safety is even more important than planning for good looks.
Is that so, Trudy? I've persuaded you?
Oh, yes, Chief. I'm going to give a whole floor talk about that for Miss Lamini's home ec class.
But she doesn't know anything to talk about, Chief. We both looked in the library for stuff, but...
Not only that, they've turned me inside out, Chief Cody. Everything I know about construction.
Well, you learned plenty in training school, Collins.
No, maybe enough to fight fires, Chief, but not enough to satisfy these two when they're planning a talk.
Well, we'll have to do something about that. Hey, how would you kids like to inspect our city through the wrong end of a telescope, huh?
I'd love it. Only...
Yeah, so would I, but what do you mean, Chief?
You'll find out tomorrow afternoon. Drop in and see me down at headquarters.
That was only yesterday. But today at Fire Department headquarters, Chief Cody leads Trudy and Jimmy to the door of a room at the top of the building.
Not many people know about this room, kids.
Well, where do you keep the big telescope, Chief?
Huh? Telescope?
Like you said, Chief.
The one you look through backwards. Well, that's what you said.
Oh, that. Oh, I said I'd show you the buildings of our city through the wrong end of the telescope. And there they are. How do you like them?
Oh, they're sweet.
Dollhouses. Oh, gee.
Oh, there must be 2 dozen. Well, let's see. Little factories. And there's a block of stores. Oh, and look, Jimmy, a little house just like ours.
Yeah. Oh, where's the telescope?
Oh, silly, don't you see? When you look at anything through the wrong end of a telescope, everything gets tiny.
Yeah, man, here are most of the types of buildings we have in our city, Jimmy. In miniature. Tiny, but showing just how they're put together.
Dollhouses. Gosh, firemen playing with dollhouses.
Oh, look, here's one just like Gilda's house, the house that got burned.
That's right, Trudy. Come on, Jimmy, let me show you how firemen play with dollhouses.
Oh,
Now, don't close your mind up tight till you give me a chance to explain.
Jimmy thinks you're a sissy, Chief Cody.
oh, gee, I do not, but...
But I can see Jimmy's a little ashamed of the old man, Trudy. Well, now, look here. Here's a house just like that one that was burned. And we take off the sidewall.
Oh,
here.
it's just sweet. I'm going to build a house like that.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't want a house like that, Trudy. Not even a dollhouse.
Huh? What's the matter with it, Jimmy?
Well, golly, Chief, look. That staircase, it winds back and forth all the way up from the basement to the top floor.
Well, of course it does. And that's a good idea because it saves space.
Yeah, but what about fire? Only one staircase. Well, how are you going to get out if there's a fire and the staircase is burning and...
Now you're catching on, huh, Jimmy?
Hey, that's just what did happen. That's what happened at Gilda's house.
Oh, was it... Oh, I see.
Right, kids. From these little model houses, we know just about what to expect when a real fire breaks out in a real house of this type.
But Tim says every fire's different, Chief Cody.
Well, your brother is right, of course, Jimmy. But at least this little dollhouse tells us that this kind of house just isn't safe.
Well, then I guess I won't build one like that.
Huh, unless you want to get carried down a ladder sometime when it burns up and there's no fire escape, like Gilda's family should have had.
Ooh, there's what I want.
Oh, up there on the shelf?
never saw one like that, Chief Cody.
Maybe you never will, Jimmy. That's the kind of building nobody puts up anymore.
Can't we see it close to?
Yes, I'll lift it down. Make room on the table, Jimmy.
Well, here, I'll push the bank building over behind the hospital.
Thanks, Jimmy. Mind the dust.
Stand back and I'll blow it off.
Oh, hey, hold on.
Oh, Jimmy, don't you...
Oh, gee, I didn't think. I just went to...
All right, Jimmy. Just a windstorm in our miniature city. We ought to have the streets cleaned.
There, it's settling down now. I can see. Oh, my goodness, Chief Cody. You ought to be ashamed. Letting such a sweet little building get all covered with dust.
Yeah, maybe the department wants to forget there ever was a building like that. The old mansard roof.
The what? The mansard roof?
Now, that's what they called it in the old days. You see, it was used a lot for a while, gave more space in the top floor.
And that's just why I like it, Chief Cody. The real roof is sort of flat, and then the side slopes out a little, and then it comes down almost straight. So the mansard roof doesn't look too flat. But you can have ever so much more room on the top floor.
Yes, that was the idea. But look here, let's take the roof off the model.
Oh, don't stir up the dust again.
No, I'll be careful. There. Now, look inside, kids.
Golly, there's an awful lot of little beams and woodwork and stuff.
Oh, my goodness, if a fire ever got started in there.
Exactly. And that's what was wrong with the mansard roof. When a fire got started among those beams in the old days, well, there was no stopping it. For a time, everybody was using this kind of roof, this dangerous and flammable, hazardous mansard roof.
On people's houses, Chief Cody?
On houses, buildings, mills, factories, anything and everything.
But golly, it's a wonder there weren't some terrible fires.
There were.
Well, but not in our city. Oh, my goodness, we must have been lucky.
No, we weren't so lucky, Trudy. We had to learn, like everybody else, that a building that isn't planned for safety is one that should never be built. Didn't you ever hear of the big fire that almost burned our city from end to end?
Oh, hey, yes, ever so long ago.
Tell us about it, Chief Cody.
Were you there? Gosh, as long ago as that?
Well, I wasn't far away. Now, come on, kids, let's go back to my office and get comfortable, and I'll tell you about it. Now, all this happened so long ago, I hardly know where to begin.
Was that when my daddy was chief of the department?
No, longer ago than that, Trudy. Why, my own dad was only a lieutenant then in old 3-1 Hook and Ladder Company. And his driver was a young fellow named Tim Collins, your father's own father.
Oh, my goodness.
What, Grandpop used to drive horses.
That's right, Jimmy. And back in those old days when the fire bells rang and all the church bells joined in to give the alarm, Tim Collins used to row.
Hang on, Lieutenant. We're coming into Main Street.
You hang on to those reins, Tim. I'll hang on to myself.
Well, keep that bell going. All right, clear the track. Give us room. Make way for 3-1.
Well, now, this is going to be a thrill because Chief Cody is going to tell about the old days when fire out of control raged through the heart of the city, driving back the firemen until it seemed as if the one last hope was to... Oh, but that's for Chief Cody to tell you when you hear the Chief and Tim Collins in our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own hometown. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with a suggestion about safety in the home. You know, a fire extinguisher is a mighty handy thing to have around. A small one, the kind you work by hand. Just be sure it's one of the many types of extinguisher your fire department approves for home use. Now, if there's any question, ask the fireman. And let's hope you'll never have to use it. But for stopping a small fire before it can spread, a hand extinguisher can be first rate. Well, that's all. Goodbye for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
5 bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Chief Cody in his office at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is telling Jimmy and Trudy, Tim Collins' brother and sister, about the great fire that almost wiped out the city in the old days. But before we drop in at headquarters, here's a message for you. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Chief Cody's office at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is reliving for Trudy and Jimmy Collins an experience of long ago, the great fire that almost destroyed the city. As you remember, Chief Cody has just explained.
The big fire was a long time ago, kids. Why, my own dad was only a lieutenant then in old 3-1's Hook and Ladder Company. And his driver, well, his driver was a young fellow named Tim Collins. Yeah, your father's own father. And back in those days when the fire bells rang and all the church bells joined in to give the alarm, Tim Collins used to roll.
Hang on, Lieutenant. We're coming into Main Street.
You hang on to those reins, Tim. I'll hang on to myself.
All right, keep that bell going. Clear the track. Give us room. Make way for 3-1. Yeah!
In the old days, Chief Cody goes on with the story. In the old days, when the city fire equipment was drawn by horses, the chief's father and Tim's grandfather were close friends. And one day, as they sat talking in the wide doorway of the fire box.
Oh, it's a heavy day, Tim. I don't like this wind blowing steady all day and all night, and yet the air's heavy.
There goes a neat filly, Lieutenant.
Yeah, not bad.
Picks up her feet. Hey,
she's a dancer, Tim.
had her tail docked, though. It's a proud little filly like that. They don't need a dock or tail. Stop that.
Mr. Staples is jealous. Must have heard you talking about that little roan.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's the matter with you, Mr. Staples? All right. I heard you. Stop it. That's a good boy. You keep quiet now. No, he's not jealous, Lieutenant Cody. He's mad at Mr. Thomas.
Huh?
Yeah, last night when we rolled to that fire in Sumter's woodshed, Mr. Thomas took a nip at Mr. Staples.
Huh?
They haven't fixed it up yet, but they'll get over it.
Yeah, the horses are sort of fretful like the rest of us.
Well, we'll be all right when the wind shifts.
We'll be all wrong if it doesn't soon, Tim. Marshal Baker said so last night.
Oh, you've been talking with the fire marshal?
Yeah, down at the Union House. Dropped in for a bite on my way home. Marshal was tending the desk as usual.
As usual, unless there's an alarm. Come an alarm, the marshal forgets mighty quick he's got a hotel to manage.
Well, he's a fast man when he feels like it, the marshal is. The first bell he hears, he's on his way to the fire the quickest way he knows how. By horse car or the nearest rig he can commandeer her just on a dead run.
And young Johnny flying after him with the marshal's white helmet. Well, what did he say was in the wind? The marshal, I mean, last night over to Union House.
Trouble, he says. All this new construction.
Oh, town looks mighty smart, all this new building. Why, from out at the new housing plot clean through the center to where we're sitting right here. More new construction than not.
Yeah, it looks right smart. But the marshal claims it isn't smart. Claims these mansard roofs they're using aren't smart at all.
Notice he put one on the Union House fast enough when he saw all the new houses and the business buildings down center and the new mills out our way here. When he saw this newfangled roof was the thing, he didn't hang back much.
No, but now he's worried. You ever seen one of those mansard roofs close up, Tim?
Now, when would I ever see anything unless it was at a fire? Us boys that's only privates, we're cooped up here in the firehouse 24 hours a day, every day in the month except one. And my day off every month, that's when I go home and see the folks. No, I haven't seen any mansard roof.
Well, Marshal Baker, he says a mansard roof gives you lots more space, but there's too much flimsy woodwork just begging for a chance to burn. Now, these mansard roofs, he says, someday they're going to burn the whole town right down to the ground, he says.
You, Mr. Staples, let that dog alone.
Here, Trixie, come here. Here, Trixie, come on. Trixie, good girl. Hey, no need to watch my face.
Hey, you keep out of Mr. Staples' stall, Trixie girl. He's mad at everybody today.
Where are you going, Trixie?
There she goes, going to curl up and take a nap on the seat of the hook and ladder.
She's kind of fretful, too.
Yeah, you know, the boys say that's a sign we're going to roll when Trixie climbs up on the seat.
I wish the wind would change, Tim. Horses and dogs all on edge. I've kind of got the willies myself. Well, praise be, the boys in the firehouse here haven't got to jarring on each other yet.
Oh, no?
Huh?
You heard what I said about time off? Us boys getting only one day off a month?
Well,
and then we can't even drive out into the country, not beyond the town limits?
Well, now, Tim, you know there might be an emergency.
Well, officers get a night off a week. Look at you, down to the Union House, chinning with Marshal Baker last night.
Oh, now, Tim, you're not going to join in with these malcontents and radicals, are you? And besides, it's for your own good.
What's good about it?
Well, now, look. Suppose you had a whole day off, say, well, maybe as often as once a week.
Well, I know it sounds foolish, Lieutenant Cody, but some of the boys think we ought to get even as much as that.
You know what would happen, Tim?
Well, I get to know a little more about what's happening around town. I know that much.
Yes, and you'd meet some young lady, Tim, and get to sparking. First thing, you'd be pestering around asking permission to get married.
Well, why not? You're married.
Well, I'm an officer, Tim. I can afford it. Now, how are you going to support a family on private's pay?
Well, I know.
You wait your time till you get a commission, Tim.
Oh, but, Lieutenant, some of the boys think it isn't fair. Why, do you know that young Johnny Baker gets... Well, he's 14 years old and just gone to work for his father at the Union House. You know what he gets?
$2 a day, what I heard.
$2 a day, $12 a week. And Johnny only works 6 days out of every 7, and at that, hardly ever more than 10 hours a day.
Well, I don't like to criticize the marshal, Tim, but it does seem like favoring his own.
Oh, Johnny isn't the only one, Lieutenant. Why, there's kids in this town not old enough to raise a mustache that make more in a week than I make in a... Oh, you Trixie! Now what's the matter?
Something's up, Tim.
Huh?
She's got a feeling.
Oh, good grief. You're right, Lieutenant. Something is in the wind. Yeah.
Here she comes.
Yeah.
Turn out, you laggards!
All right. Come on, Staples. Come on, Thomas. Into your places. Eat it.
District 12. Down by the river, boys.
Get over there.
And the wind is off the river.
That's right.
Going
Back up
steady
there.
right into town.
Up there. Steady, Thomas. Come on.
Trixie, get out front, girl. Clear the street.
Come on, Staples.
Come on, Tim. Buckle that harness.
All right. All ready, sir.
All aboard. Let's roll.
Yo! Clear the track. Here comes old 3-1.
As old 3-1s, with Tim Collins handling the reins and Lieutenant Cody clanging the bell, races toward District 12 on the waterfront, the town fire marshal, proprietor of the Union House, runs from behind the desk in the lobby.
Johnny Baker, fetch my helmet. Follow me.
From the front porch of his hotel, he sees old 3-1s rolling past, with the truck wheels in the groove of the horse car tracks for greater speed, and the marshal calls...
Cody! Lieutenant Cody! Where's the fire? Johnny Baker, run over to the church on the square. Tell them fire on the waterfront and the wind's behind it blowing this way. General alarm. Then fetch my white helmet. I'll be down in District 12.
And at this very moment, as Trudy and Jimmy Collins sit wide-eyed on the edge of their chairs in the office of Chief Cody, their old friend interrupts his story of long ago to remind them.
Now, you kids, Jimmy, Trudy, remember that in those days, the fire department couldn't always knock a fire down before it had time to spread. Back when my dad was Lieutenant Cody and your own grandfather was his driver, young Tim Collins he was on Hook and Ladder 3-1s, well, almost any fire might turn out to be a city-wide conflagration. So the marshal always turned out. And this time, as he reached the waterfront, he saw...
Watch yourself, Marshal. We've got to move back.
Oh, that whole block of buildings is ablaze. Where did it start, Collins?
In Rafferty's coal pits, Marshal. 100 tons of hay went up like paper. Now it's into the dump field.
Well, we'll try to save the harness factory. Hey, you engine men, turn that water on the harness factory. Let the lumber yard go.
Marshal Baker!
Here, Lieutenant Cody.
We've got to pull back, Marshal! We got to pull back, or we lose half our equipment.
We can't pull back. What are you talking about?
Look there, Marshal. 2 blocks away.
It's jumped ahead of us. That murderous wind.
The wind is throwing great chunks of flame into those rooftops, Marshal. The fire's racing ahead of us, a street at a time.
At this point, with the fire marshal in charge, issuing orders to his men to get ahead of the raging fire that threatens to consume the city, we leave Chief Cody and his story of the big fire of long ago. But we won't miss a word, because you'll share this thrilling adventure when you hear our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. And now, in just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell all of you boys and girls how you can help the firefighters in your own hometown. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with a word about those hand fire extinguishers we mentioned. The soda acid type is very common, the kind that contains water in which bicarbonate of soda is dissolved. You turn it over, and acid mixes with the soda to form gas, which forces out a stream of water that lasts about a minute. Now, soda acid extinguishers are good for stopping small fires in ordinary materials like wood or paper. And remember, a hand extinguisher is good protection for your home. That's all for now. You'll be hearing from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it! Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll drop in at Chief Cody's office in Fire Department headquarters to hear the climax of his story of old-time firefighting, his account of the famous big fire that nearly destroyed the city years ago. But first, we have time for this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Chief Cody's office at Fire Department headquarters, where you remember he is telling Fireman Tim Collins' brother and sister, Jimmy and Trudy, about the big fire in the old days, back in the times when, as Chief Cody says...
Why, kids, that was when my own dad was the lieutenant of Hook and Ladder 3-1s. And his driver, the man who had charge of the horses, was your own grandfather, Tim Collins.
And just a moment ago, Chief Cody described the start of the big fire, when, with a strong wind blowing, an alarm was sounded from District 12 down by the waterfront. When Town Fire Marshal Baker reached the scene, he found...
Oh, that whole block of buildings is ablaze.
Watch yourself, Marshal. That wind is driving the fire right down on us. We've got to move back.
Where did it start, Collins?
In Rafferty's coal pits, Marshal. 100 tons of hay went up like paper, and now it's in the Columbia.
Well, we'll try to save the harness factory. You engine man, turn that water on the harness factory. Let the lumber yard go.
Marshal Baker!
Here, Lieutenant Cody.
We got to pull back, Marshal. We got to pull back or we'll lose half our equipment.
We can't pull back. What are you talking about?
Look there, Marshal. 2 blocks away.
It's jumped ahead of us. That murderous wind.
The wind is throwing great chunks of flame into those rooftops, Marshal. The fire's racing ahead of us, a street at a time.
They jump. Jump at the runway. Hold those horses.
They can't. It's a runaway. Look out, Marshal.
Hey, it's 209. Engine 209 lost their horses.
You all right, Marshal?
You didn't have to knock me down, Cody.
Better than letting you get trampled under those hooves. Oh, Collins.
Yes, sir.
Can you manage your horses?
Can the ducks swim?
All right, all right. This is no time for joshing. Hook up to the ladder truck and pull out.
Yes, sir.
All companies. All companies. Hook up your horses. Pick up and pull out.
3-1. Pick up and pull out.
Collins.
Yes, sir. I'm on my way.
way.
When you unhitch at your newsstand, bring those horses back here if you can. Hook up to engine 209. They'll never catch their own team again.
Right, sir, as soon as I can.
Where shall we make a stand, Marshal? This fire's eaten into the business district already.
Get ahead of it, Cody.
Hey, where's my pop?
We'll be running through fire all the way for 6 blocks. All right, sir, I'll do...
Pop, here's your white helmet.
Get started, Cody.
Yes, sir. Clear out. All companies, clear out.
What kept you so long, Johnny?
Gee whizzicus, Pop, I came as fast as I could. That's a long run all the way from the Union House.
Hold back 6 blocks. Get ahead of the fire.
Gee whizzicus, Pop, don't you know?
Huh? No what, Johnny?
Everybody's running away, all District 12. Clear from the waterfront here to Union Square.
Running away. Evacuating. Everybody?
Everybody, in case you can't stop the fire, Pop. Gee whizzicus, I was the only one coming this way. Wagons, drays, buggies, gigs, folks on horseback. Folks just running like old Nick was after him. Me, I was the only one coming this way.
Well, where's my trumpet?
Look, here, Pop.
Johnny.
Yes, sir?
Johnny, you run back to Union Square. Get hold of the mayor. Tell him I sent you.
I'll go as fast as I can, Pop.
You tell the mayor to send out a call for all fire companies for 10 miles around. Volunteers, anything. And tell him to put a request on the telegraph. Any city that can get help to us inside 24 hours. I don't care what it is. Men, horses, apparatus, send it along by special train.
Yes, sir. And Pop, Mom says look out for yourself.
Oh, yes, sir. And Johnny?
Yes, sir?
You look out for yourself, boy. Now, scamper.
Oh, yes, sir.
All company!
Hey, Pop, use your trumpet. Save your voice. Mom said to tell
Oh,
you.
yes, you sure.
All company, pull out now. No time to save your hose line. Pull out. Pull out.
Collins, we can't stay here. Hook up those horses again.
Now, that makes our 4th move, Lieutenant Cody.
Can you get spare horses or relief?
Not a chance.
Then do what you can, Tim. Save the equipment as long as we can.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Cody. Here's a message from Marshal Baker.
Oh, Johnny Baker, your pop told you to get out of this. Now get along home to the Union House.
Yeah, I'm going, Lieutenant. Pop said he'd shine my britches if I don't. But he gave me one last message.
Speak up fast, boy.
Engine 203 is in trouble, Pop says. Lost all their men. Gone to the hospital when the gasworks blew up.
Oh, good grief. That makes near 100 men out of action.
Collins, get those horses hooked up.
No, wait, Lieutenant. The company from out of town took all the spare horses. Pop says, can you send Collins to pull out engine 203? Collins and your own team.
Well, our horses are good for about one more trip, Lieutenant.
Marshal's order, Tim. Can you carry them out?
I don't know till I try. But I'll try right now.
Now, Johnny, you run home. Let's hope this fire doesn't take you back.
All right, steady there. Steady, Stables. Steady, Thomas. Oh, boy. Oh, good grief. You can't see what's going on with those bags tied around your head. Now, steady there. If you could see, you'd have something to snort about.
Hey, Mr. Collins!
Huh? Johnny!
Gee whizzicus, I don't know which way to go.
Look, Lieutenant Cody said you should go home. Your pop said so, too.
But I can't go home. That fire jumped ahead of me right over the roofs. It's almost reached all the way to Union Square.
Well, then the whole town's done for.
And Pop's hotel, too. Just the other side, across the square. Gee, what'll we do?
Well, stick with me. There's engine 203 all by your lonesome down in front of the Temperance Hall.
Yeah, flames flying out of every window.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like...
Hold your horses, boys. Steady, Stables. Steady. Thomas, easy.
Hey, we gotta be quick.
Too late. That building's coming down. Right on top of the engine.
Yeah, but it can't. That's a cast iron front on Temperance Hall. All solid iron, 3 stories high. It can't fall.
Oh, no?
Gee whizzicus, the whole front. It's cracking up.
Yes, sir. There she goes.
Holy smoke.
The engine's smashed flat beneath that pile of scrap iron. Come on, Johnny. Mount up.
What? Over where?
Up on Staples. Come on. Climb up on his back.
Okay.
All right, that's the boy. I'll take Thomas here. Oh, easy, boy. Easy.
They keep us hooked together. They'll run away.
Son, we don't care about that. We're going to ride like blazes, clean black to Union Square. Beat up, Staples. Beat up. I've got our hook and ladder truck out of that furnace, Lieutenant Cody.
Good work, Tim. I was afraid I lost you.
Oh, not me, Lieutenant Cody. So where are the rest of the boys?
I don't know, Tim. Hundreds of men milling around, boys from out of town mixed up with our own. I don't know what's become of my company.
Marshal Baker!
Collins, what's become of my boy, Johnny?
I sent him home, sir, and this time he went. He's over at the Union House, over there, right across the square.
Oh, then the soldiers will pick him up. So that's all right.
Soldiers?
Yeah.
Martial law, Tim. The soldiers came in. They're clearing every man, woman, and child out of town. Out of what hasn't been burned to the ground already.
Well, then if it's as bad as that, what are we going to do?
We're doing it, Tim. Look, those men with red flags.
Everybody back, order range.
Those men running out of the buildings there?
Yeah.
What's that for?
They've mined the buildings, Tim, with blasting powder.
Bang, boys.
You mean they're going to blow up those buildings at the edge of the square?
Yep, and all down Main Street, both ways. It's our last chance. blow those buildings clean out of existence, and maybe blow out the front of the fire.
Marshal Baker, there's your deputy, signaling from down Main Street.
Well, then here goes. The fuses are lighted, and in a few seconds they'll let go and...
There it goes. Oh, look at those buildings. They're sliding down into the street.
Yeah, but you haven't heard anything yet,
You'll hear
Powers.
the biggest explosion this side of...
Look at that. Look at it.
I say...
Hey! That fire's not flat.
All companies, every man that can walk, close in. We've knocked that fire down. Now, drown it out. Drown it out. Hey!
And as Chief Cody ends his story of the big fire of the old days, Jimmy and Trudy, brother and sister of Tim Collins, the young fireman of today, shiver as if waking from a dream.
Well, kids, there you are. 3 days they fought the big fire with everything they had. And before it was knocked down, half the town had been lost. Now, how about telling that story in that fire prevention play you're going to give at Northside School, huh?
And there's a question for Jimmy and Trudy to think over carefully. Because, as Chief Cody knows, the Firefighters Brigade at Northside School is soon to present a fire prevention play in the auditorium. But there's been a lot of argument about that play. And there's going to be more until circumstances force a decision, as you'll hear in our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. Now, in just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own hometown. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody. When I talked to you last time, I told you about the soda acid type of fire extinguisher for stopping small fires in ordinary materials, like wood and paper. Well, now I want to tell you about a kind of handy fire extinguisher that can be used on both Class A and Class B fires. That's the foam extinguisher, which throws out a blanket of foam that smothers fire on liquid by cutting off the air. And it also contains water to put out fires on material like wood or paper. Now remember, the foam extinguisher is a mighty handy one to have for stopping a fire before it gets a good start. Or should I say, bad start. Well, that's all, and goodbye for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll visit Chief Cody in his office at Fire Department headquarters, where he has just asked an important question of Jimmy and Trudy, brother and sister of Tim Collins, the young fireman. But before we hear the answer, here is a message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Fire Department headquarters, where you remember Chief Cody has been telling Jimmy and Trudy Collins the story of the big fire, the conflagration of years ago that almost burned the whole city to the ground. And as the chief ends his account, Trudy Collins asked,
But, Chief Cody, well, you said they had fire engines and ladder trucks and hundreds of men. Why did the big fire get away from them?
Didn't he say the wind was blowing all the time? Steady, all 3 days the fire was burning?
You keep still, Jimmy Collins. You weren't there.
She's got you on that point, Jimmy.
Oh, golly, the way you told it, I felt as if I was there.
Well, if you'd been there, you'd be your own grandfather. It was so long ago.
Yep, it was so long ago. And that's the answer to your question, Trudy. How the fire got away from the department and burned for 3 days and might have gone on and burned out the whole city.
If they hadn't stopped it with blasting powder.
That's right. You see, in the old days, they didn't know as much about fire prevention as we do now.
Oh, maybe that's why we don't have so many big, terrible fires.
Yes, it is one reason, Trudy. Cleaning up the city, storing things carefully, building houses and factories and so on that resist fire. Well, all those things prevent a blaze from spreading too far, too fast.
And you said the architects give us better architecture.
Oh, they do not.
They do, too. What Chief Cody said so. He said...
He didn't say architecture. He said... golly, you got me mixed up, Trudy. Now I don't know what's the right way to say it.
Could it be architecture?
Well, that's what I said, practically. Chief Cody, you said the big fire happened on a kind of a bad kind of roof.
Yes, the mansard roof. A very convenient kind of architecture, but it had a lot of exposed woodwork. And the big fire ate its way through block after block of those roofs.
So now they don't architect roofs that aren't safe anymore, because they know more about fire prevention.
Yeah? Well, how about it, kids? Why don't you put the story of the big fire into that play of yours, huh? The fire prevention play that you're going to give at Northside School.
Hey, Trudy, that's an idea.
Oh, Jimmy, do you think we could?
We can ask Miss Grabble, can't we? There's no harm in asking, is there?
Oh, thanks, Chief Cody. You always give us brand new ideas.
Thanks a lot, Chief. And thanks for the story, too, about the big fire.
You're welcome, kids. Now run along home and get to work on that play. Time I gave a little attention to this department business on my desk.
As Jimmy and Trudy hasten homeward, full of plans for rewriting the fire prevention play, their Firefighters Brigade is to present an assembly at Northside School, Chief Cody digs into the pile of reports, applications, and correspondence on his desk, losing himself in his work until...
Yes, Glover, what is it? Private Collins? What's he doing here at this time of day? Says I sent for him? All right, Glover, send him in. Great blistering blazes. What did I want to see Hooksy Collins about?
Private Collins reporting, sir.
Tighten that knot in your tie, Private.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's better. What's that on the sleeve of your jacket?
Where, sir?
That thread. Looks all of 6 inches long. Pick it off.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever forget the details, Collins. A good fireman keeps himself smart, inside and out. That's important.
Yes, sir.
Don't neglect your uniform.
No, sir.
Yeah, well then...
Sir?
I didn't say anything, Collins. Don't keep interrupting.
No, sir.
Well then, Collins, I hope you know why you're here in my office.
Well, yes, sir. You sent for me, Chief Cody.
Oh, I did. And naturally, you know why I sent for you.
Well, no, sir, I don't.
Oh, you don't, do you?
Well, no, sir, but may I ask a question, sir?
Well, you may.
Now, don't get mad now, Chief, but do you know why you sent for me, sir?
Private Collins, that's... You young whippersnapper, you caught the old man off guard. I hope you knew what I wanted, and maybe I could worm it out of you.
Oh, don't let it bother you, Chief. None of the boys can figure out how you keep track of everything as much as you do.
I'm getting old, Collins. This working 48 hours a day slowing me down. I'm losing my memory.
No, not you, Chief.
Well, this time I'll have to ask Glover what I...
Your clerk, Chief?
Yeah.
Well, Glover said when I was coming in he has the reports from promotional school when you want them.
That's it. That's what I wanted to see you about, Collins. Your record at promotional school.
Oh, I had the usual notice through the mail, sir.
Yes, the notice that you completed the course to the satisfaction of your instructors.
Yes, sir.
But your actual rating, Collins, your rank in the class you train with, that's what decides how soon you're eligible for promotion.
Oh, yes, sir, but they don't tell us how we made out, Chief.
No, that's confidential. But I can tell you this much. You finished among the first 3, Collins.
Oh, good grief.
Yes, sir, a mighty fine score, boy. And I tell you this because I've got a problem on my hands. Now, 2 of your group, you 3 who finished at the top of the list, are going to be promoted.
Oh, then the problem is which 2 of us 3 jumped from private to lieutenant?
That's it, Collins. We have 2 openings for new officers.
Yes, sir. Well, Whatever you decide, Chief, I know we'll all be satisfied, even though I don't know who the other two men are.
They're good men, both of them. It's a tough choice, Collins. You see, we need officers for one of the ladder companies and for an engine company, too. And, well, any of you three would fill the bill exactly for either post.
Well, Chief Cody,
Yes, Collins?
Chief, a long time ago, when I first got my appointment to the department...
Not so long ago, boy, when you're as old as I am. I can remember when your own dad got his appointment, and, well, to me, it's just like yesterday.
Oh, I was thinking about my father, sir. When I got my appointment, you gave me a choice. Do you remember, Chief?
Yes, you said you wanted as much firefighting experience as you could get, all through the department.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to follow in your dad's footsteps.
Yes, sir. And since then, I've served with old 3-1s, the ladder company Dad started in. I've served with Engine 209.
Yeah, I think I see what you're getting at.
Yes, sir. Chief, I worked hard at promotional school, but, well, I'm glad I'm eligible for one of those lieutenancies, but...
But maybe you'd rather have a transfer instead.
Could I, Chief?
To what division, Collins?
Oh, well, I don't know yet, sir. Good grief, this came so fast. I just haven't thought.
Well, go home and think it over then.
Yes, sir. I'd like to talk it over with Mom.
Good idea, Collins. Your mother knows as much about the department as any man on the force.
Dad used to call Mom his deputy when he was chief.
She'd have made a good one if she didn't have all you young Collinses to raise. Well, go talk to her, son. Make up your mind, and when you're ready, we'll discuss that transfer.
Meanwhile, at the Collins home, Trudy and Jimmy are deep in preparation for their fire prevention play. Jimmy is complaining.
Gee. What are we going to do about Miss Gravel, Trudy? We know she'll want us to put on her old pageant anyway.
Oh, but didn't we decide about that, Jimmy? That we'd be nice to Miss Grubble and get her old pageant over with, and then we could do my play.
Well, sure, but now what? Now we got 3 plays.
3 plays? Well, who else wrote a play? You never told me that.
No, I mean, now we got Miss Gravel's pageant, and we got the play about firemen you wrote yourself. And now we've got to write another one about the big fire Chief Cody told us about.
Well, I know. Let's make them all into one play.
Gosh, that would take all day and all night.
Oh, my goodness, Jimmy. Don't you know anything about plays at all?
I know plenty about plays. I guess I heard plenty of plays on the radio. More than you, even, because I'm 2 years older.
Oh, don't be silly. Those 2 years before I got here, you were only a baby. Bet you never listened to the radio or anything else. So you haven't either heard more plays than me. And if you knew anything at all, you'd know how they do. They say, meanwhile, and then they tell you what's happening somewhere else.
Oh, I get it. Say, supposing we're acting out your fireman's play, the announcer says something like, meanwhile, the spirit of fire prevention is over somewhere else defending our citizens, and all the other stuff, just like Miss Gravel wrote it out,
That's right, Jimmy. Maybe while we're acting out my play, the announcer says, meanwhile, outside the big fire is raging and ravaging and eating up everything with its octopus tongue. And
what kind of a tongue is that?
Well, the big fire has 8 tongues, like an octopus.
Gee, you sure, Trudy?
Well, come on, we'll look it up and start writing.
Oh, no, it's too soon before supper. I'm too hungry to write. Well, let's rehearse instead. Let's do the big fight part.
Yes, if we're going to act out my play I wrote on the stage and have the announcer meanwhile all the rest.
Come on, Trudy. I'll be the fireman and you'll be the arsonist. The one that starts the fire.
Well, I haven't written out all the speeches yet.
Who cares? We can make 'em up. You know, just like a fight on the radio.
All right, but don't knock anything over like the last time. Now, you catch me sneaking away from the burning building, Jimmy.
Halt! Stop or I shoot. Don't stir a step or I'll let you have it.
Well, now...
Stop! You can't get away with it.
Hey, everybody, I'm home.
Stop it, I said. You can't get away with it.
Good grief, what's going on in there? Hey, Trudy! Jimmy!
I'll get you away from here.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Take that.
No, you don't.
You arsoneer. Ouch.
Don't hit so
Hey, what goes on?
I'll beat your ears down.
No, you don't. Now, break it up. Break it up. Cut it out. Cut it out. What's got into you?
Go up there.
The lamp. Oh, Jimmy, we knocked over the lamp again.
Oh, golly. It's all right, though. It didn't break anymore.
What's the matter here? Jimmy, Trudy, I'm ashamed of you two.
Oh, hello, Tim. Did you see our play?
Just like the radio, Tim. Did you hear us going, no, you don't, like in the big fight scene?
Oh, good grief, and I almost sent for the rescue squad. Rescue squad? I wonder. Hey, Mom! Mom, I've got to talk to you.
Now, what do you suppose he's got to talk to Mom about all of a sudden?
Jimmy and Trudy can't guess, but maybe you know what Tim Collins has in mind when he rushes off to talk to his mother about the rescue squad. And maybe your guess is right, because you heard Chief Cody's offer to transfer Tim to any division of the fire department he might choose. So, to find out if you guess right, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody with another word about those handy little fire extinguishers. One of the most common is the little carbon tetrachloride extinguisher. And best of all, this vaporizing liquid extinguisher can be used on any kind of fire. Now, that's worth remembering for home protection. So long for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's go! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll drop in at the home of Tim Collins and learn Tim's decision on a question that can affect his career in the fire department for years to come. But first, here's a message for you. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the home of Tim Collins, where you remember just a moment ago, the young fireman found a riot in progress as Jimmy and Trudy, his brother and sister, rehearsed an important scene of their fire prevention play. As Tim entered the front door, he heard sounds of battle.
Hey, it's me, everybody. I'm home. Oh, good grief, what's going on in there? Hey, Trudy! Jimmy!
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh, take that.
No, you don't.
You arsoneer. Ouch.
Ouch yourself. Don't hit so
Hey,
hard.
what goes on?
I'll beat your ears down.
No, you don't. Break it up. Cut it out. Cut it.
I do not. Oh, the lamp. Oh, Jimmy, we knocked over the lamp again.
Oh, golly. It's all right, though. It didn't break anymore.
What's the matter here? Jimmy, Trudy, I'm ashamed of you two.
Oh, hello, Tim. Did you see our play?
Just like the radio, Tim.
Your play? What are you talking about?
Well, you know, Tim, our prevention play.
For the Firefighters Brigade.
Oh, good grief. I thought it was a riot. I almost tapped in a call for the rescue squad to get me out of here.
Oh, see, Jimmy, he thought it was real. Oh, won't the brigade just love it?
Let's do the big fight scene again, Trudy.
All the way through so Tim can see how it starts. Now watch.
Hey, the rescue squad. Oh, I wonder.
Huh? What'd you say, Tim?
Kids, where's Mom? I've got to talk to her.
Why, Mommy's out in the kitchen, I guess.
Oh, I'll see you later. Hey, Mom, I've got to talk to you.
Well, what do you suppose he's got to talk to Mom about all of a sudden?
Jimmy and Trudy can't figure it out, but they don't know that Tim has a problem on his mind, as he explains to his mother in the kitchen.
So I thought, well, I want you to help me figure it out, Mom. What I decide might make a big difference.
I see, Tim. Hand me that big colander.
Oh, sure, Mom. This thing?
That thing. Now help me shell the peas, but you're not to eat any. Drop them all in the colander.
Yes. You see, Chief Cody says I'm in line for promotion, and there are 2 lieutenancies open. Where do I put the pot?
There on the newspaper.
Oh. Chief Cody says I'm eligible. I can take my promotion in either a ladder or an engine company.
You're young, Tim. So very young to command a company.
Oh, it isn't that, Mom. Good grief, Dad wasn't much more than my age when he got his first big promotion.
That's true, dear, but you have so much time ahead of you.
That's it, Mom. So much time ahead of me and so much to learn. So I was thinking...
Timothy Collins.
Huh? Yes, ma'am.
Tim, I don't mind your thinking, but don't eat those peas to help you think.
Oh.
Now, drop them into the colander. You'll have no peas for supper, nor will anybody else either.
Oh, yeah, sure, Mom.
Well, that's better. Now, you were thinking?
Oh, well, I was... Oh, I dropped a pea. Suppose instead of going up for promotion so soon, suppose I put in for a transfer to another division in the department.
So you can get a little more experience? Well, what does Chief Cody say?
Oh, he's willing, Mom.
Where would you go, Tim? You've served on the ladders in your engine company. What would it be? Searchlight? Salvage company?
A rescue squad.
Oh, glory
Yeah,
be.
I just thought of it, Mom. When I found Jimmy and Trudy staging a riot, and I said something about rescue squad, and it just popped out, but then I knew. That's what I want.
But, Tim, on the rescue squad, you have to be a jack of all trades and master of everything.
Well, where else could I learn so much? If I'm going to follow in Dad's footsteps, why...
That's true, dear. Your father knew every job in the fire department, backwards and forwards.
Well, what do you think, Mom? What's your advice?
Tim, if Chief Cody will recommend your transfer to the rescue squad, and that's what you want, I want it too.
Yo, I was afraid you'd think it was dangerous.
Be careful, Tim.
I'll take care of myself, Mom.
I know, but I mean, be
Huh?
careful with those peas.
Oh.
Here, you're spilling them. Give me that.
After talking it over with his mother, Tim is ready to make his formal request to Chief Cody for transfer from Engine Company 209 to the rescue squad. But next day, when he reports to the chief in his office after duty, Tim finds Chief Cody strangely reluctant to approve his transfer.
Yes, Collins. I know. I said a transfer can be arranged, but the rescue squad.
Well, Chief Cody, if I misunderstood
No, you didn't misunderstand me, boy. I did say you could be transferred to any division of the fire department that you might choose. I said it, and I'll stand by what I said.
Well, sir, I talked it over with Mom, just as you suggested, and I...
Oh, good. Your mother knows the department inside out. What'd she say?
Well, I'm right in choosing the rescue squad if it's all the same to you.
Oh, great billows of smoke.
Sir?
Oh, nothing. Just that I was hoping she'd steer you towards something else. Something she and I both had in mind. Oh, excuse me a minute.
Oh, of course, Chief.
Expecting some people. I'll find out if they're here yet. Shove that phone across my desk, will you?
Here, Chief.
Thank you. Glover, are those people here yet? Huh? Oh, well, give me a buzz as soon as they get here, will you? It should be any minute now. Right.
Oh, you're busy, Chief. I'd better come in some other time.
No, Collins. I want you here when these people come in.
Oh, somebody from out of town, Chief?
No, you know them. But while we're waiting, now you understand what's involved if you join the rescue squad?
Yes, sir. I know that my job will be to save life, sir, as well as to fight special fires that no other company in the whole department is prepared to handle.
Right. And your duty might take you anywhere, Collins. From the topmost tip of the highest building in the city down into the tube of the new tunnel they're pushing under the river.
Well, that's for me, Chief.
Well, I don't blame you, son. If they'd accept an old man like me, hanged if I wouldn't like to. Yeah, great blistering blazes. Right now, I want you for something else. Oh, there they are now.
Shall I open the door, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, Collins. Tell them to come right in.
Yes, sir.
Well, hello, Timmy. What are you doing here?
Hiya, Tim.
Trudy, Jimmy, Mom! Hey, what goes on?
Come in, all you Collinses.
Hey, good grief.
Shut the door, son.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Collins, you sit right here. This used to be your husband's desk when he was chief. You take charge of this meeting.
Well, thank you, Pop Cody.
Your boy and I have been having a discussion, Mrs. Collins.
About his transfer?
Yes, I'm afraid I've been putting him off. The young rascal insists on his right to a transfer, but, well, I've refused to say yes or no until we settle this business of yours.
Well, golly, Chief, we don't want to hold up Timmy's plans.
Now, Jimmy, you and Trudy have held up everybody else's plans. In fact, you've tied him up in a knot.
So I understand.
Oh, my goodness, Chief Cody. We're only trying to do what's best for the Firefighters Brigade and Miss Greville and Northside School
And the fire department and everybody else in town. Yes, dear. And the result is that everything is at a standstill.
Mom, Chief Cody, if I'm mixed up in this, whatever it is, couldn't somebody tell me something?
It's a question of fire prevention, son. You know how the Bureau of Fire Prevention cooperates with the Firefighters Brigade out at Northside School?
Oh, yes, Chief. The Bureau is getting to be a section of the brigade, or maybe the other way around.
And you've heard Jimmy and Trudy talk about that play of theirs, Tim.
The one they've been rehearsing for days with the big fight in it?
Oh, that's only the part about where the arsoneer...
Arsonist. Where the arsonist tries to burn down the factory. But
then there's a pageant, too, that Miss Greville wrote.
And the part where we go back and show where the whole city almost burned up, like Chief Cody told us when he was only a kid like us about 1,000 years ago.
Here, who said it was 1,000 years ago?
Oh, you know what I mean. It's all in the play.
Yes, it's all in the play, and there's so much in that play, Tim, that there'll be no play at all unless we straighten things out.
There's got to be a play,
Oh,
Mom.
my goodness, all the whole school is expecting it for assembly.
And all the guests have said they'd come, even the mayor.
But you've invited them for a week from today, and everything is at 6s and 7s. You'll never be ready in time.
Well, if you're not, Jimmy and Trudy, it's going to be a black eye for the Firefighters Brigade.
Golly, I never thought of that.
Oh, dear.
That's not all, Chief. If that play blows up, it's going to be a black eye for Northside School and for the fire department. After all the help the department has given the Firefighters Brigade, if that's the best they can do,
Well, that's just it, Tim. Now, there's time left, just barely, to put on a real fire prevention play if somebody would only step in and help.
Well, Mrs. Collins, I thought I had just the man to step in and put this thing across. A man who could work right along with the brigade.
Well, that's all we need, Bob. Someone to represent the Bureau of Fire Prevention.
But hang it, Mrs. Collins, the man I once slipped through our fingers.
Oh, but can't you talk to him, Chief? Make him see how important this is?
I tried to, son. I tried to persuade him to take a tour of special duty with the Bureau of Fire Prevention.
Did you tell him that, Bobby, in so many words?
No, I hoped he'd think of it himself. But this stubborn young rascal, all he can think of is getting a transfer to the rescue squad.
Well, there must be some way to talk him around, Chief Cody. Now, look, Hey, you're talking about me.
Now, Tim Collins has more of a problem than ever, because more than anything else, he wants to join the rescue squad. But when Chief Cody needs him for special duty to help the Firefighters Brigade make a success instead of an embarrassing failure of their fire prevention play, will Tim refuse to help? For his decision, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody with another of those tips about how to fight fires. You know, of course, that a fireman's first duty is to save life. After that, he saves property. You hear about damage done by smoke and water. But remember, every move the fireman makes is planned to knock down the fire fast, with as little damage as possible to valuable property. So remember, when a fireman breaks a window to ventilate a fire or admit a hose stream, he figures a window costs less than a new house. Well, that's all, and goodbye for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts, a 5-alarm fire. 5 bells, move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go!
Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll hear Tim Collins give his answer to Chief Cody. Tim's decision as to whether or not he'll swallow his ambition and postpone his transfer to the rescue company for the good of the department. But first, you'll want to hear this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the office of Chief Cody at Fire Department Headquarters, where you remember the chief has put a difficult decision up to Tim Collins. Only a moment ago, Chief Cody admitted.
Collins, you've got me over a barrel. You're right, I did say I had to approve your request for a transfer to any division of the fire department.
Well, then what's the problem, Chief Cody? I've had the experience. You said you'd approve my application. I've told you I want to transfer to the rescue company, and well, what's the problem?
My goodness, Timmy, I guess it's me. I mean, I'm the problem.
Well, that seems to be the crux of it, Collins. Miss Gribble has a fire prevention pageant she wants to put on, but the brigade wants to stage Trudy's play.
My fire prevention play, Tim. All about how the city almost burned down years ago and about a nasty arsonist, going around setting fires and...
Well, you can see why the kids prefer Trudy's play, Collins. Well, the upshot will be that we'll have no fire prevention program at Northside at all, and the department needs it.
Well, yes, sir, but Chief Cody, doesn't the Bureau of Fire Prevention figure in that? Ever since we started the brigade, the Bureau has backed up the kids all the way.
Well, I did have in mind a man who could straighten out this tangle, Collins, who could get Miss Gribble and Trudy and the kids together so the whole project wouldn't go up in smoke.
Oh, and all the guests invited, too. And even the mayor said he was coming.
If that play blows up, it's going to be a black eye for the school, the brigade, and the fire department.
Yes, don't I know it? Oh, hang it. I thought I had just the man who could step in and put it across.
Well, that's all you need, Chief Cody. One man to help them whip their program into shape.
Yes, but the man I wanted slipped right through my fingers.
Well, can't you talk to him, Chief? Make him see how important this is?
I tried to, son. I tried to persuade him to take a tour of special duty with the Bureau of Fire Prevention before he transfers to the rescue company.
Oh, good grief. Doesn't he see that a week or two doesn't make that much difference when... Hey.
Oh, Tim, he's talking about you.
He is. He means me.
Oh, Timmy, please. Oh, Chief Cody, can't you make him?
Not unless he decides for himself, Trudy. I promised him his choice when he asked for a transfer.
But, Chief, good grief, what choice have I?
Will you take this assignment, Collins, of your own free will?
Well, sir, when it's for the good of the department, you bet I will.
All right, Private Collins, you're temporarily attached to the Bureau of Fire Prevention. Now go on out to Northside School and put on a fire prevention play that will do the department some good.
The next day, Tim Collins, now a member of the Fire Prevention Bureau, calls on Miss Gribble, director of play production at the great modern Northside School. As he knocks on the door of her office, he wonders, will he find her so stubborn that the fire prevention play must fail?
Come in. It isn't locked.
Miss Gribble, I'm Private Tim Collins of the Fire Prevention Bureau. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're a fireman. Come in and... Oh, let me move these papers off the chair.
Oh, don't bother. I can... Here, let me...
Oh, my head.
Good grief, I'm a clumsy ox. Bumping heads with a lady even before I'm introduced.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It was my fault. It doesn't hurt anyway.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Here, why don't you bang me over the skull with a book or something so we'll be even?
No, you can owe me one free whack. Don't think I won't collect.
Well, that's a bargain. Now, don't forget. Yeah, it's lucky Miss Gribble didn't walk in and find us banging our heads together. I don't think...
but I'm Miss Gribble, Mr. Collins. Chief Cody said that
You?
Yeah.
Oh, a student teacher training with your sister? She's the one I'm supposed to see, the Miss Gribble in charge of plays and stuff.
Oh, but that's me. I'm she. I haven't any sisters. Chief Cody phoned that you were coming to see me.
Why, are you sure? Well, gosh, I thought Miss Gribble was much older.
Is that my fault, Mr. Collins?
Oh, no, but things like that didn't happen when I was a student here.
I'm sorry if you find Northside School is changed for the worse.
Oh, no, ma'am. I find the old school much improved. In fact,
Excuse me.
Yes, Mr. Collins?
Somebody just came in. Oh, hi, Trudy. What do you want? What are you doing here?
Oh, my goodness, it's my school, isn't it? Where else would I be this time of day? And besides, Miss Gribble sent for me.
Oh, yes, Trudy. Mr. Collins, when Chief Cody phoned that you were coming...
But if I'm interrupting something, I can wait outside.
Certainly not, Trudy. Sit down.
Yes, you sit right down. We're all here to
talk about the fire prevention play for a week from yesterday.
Oh, yes, the play. That's what we're here for. And, well, the play. Now, what about it?
Well, my feeling is that the best way to present the case for fire prevention is through a pageant. Mm-hmm. But there seems to be some opposition. In fact, a tremendous amount of opposition.
Oh, my goodness, Miss Gribble. The Firefighters Brigade, we don't want to be mean or uncooperational, but...
But you kids have sold yourselves on the idea of a regular play instead of a pageant. Something of everything from the burning of Rome right up to date.
Well, yes, that's it. We'd rather have a play.
And I don't want to be high-handed, Mr. Collins. I do truly want to cooperate with the children, but, you see, I represent the best interests of Northside School.
Somehow I've got to represent the Firefighters Brigade.
And between you, it looks as if there won't be any program at all. And for the best interests of the Fire Prevention Bureau, which I represent, that's bad.
Well, since we just can't seem to get together, Mr. Collins.
Yeah. Well, what's that, an alarm?
Now, Mr. Collins, surely it isn't so long since you graduated that you don't recognize that bell.
Don't run for the fire hose, Tim. It's only the passing bell.
Oh, sure. Oh, hey, where's everybody going?
I have an auditorium class.
I've got home ec.
We haven't settled anything.
Well, how can we when we're deadlocked?
Nobody's mad at anybody, but we just can't agree.
So we'll have to give up the whole thing.
No, wait. Here, I'll shut the door so I can hear myself think.
Mr. Collins, you'll make us late for class.
Oh, my goodness, Miss Lamini will just simply devour me if I'm late.
Ladies, the fire department is in charge. You'll have to listen just for 1 second unless you climb out the window and get to class that way.
Mr. Collins, stand away from that door.
Not until you hear me, Miss Grebel. That pageant of yours, it's good.
Will you let us go when Chief Cody hears... Huh? Oh, you read my pageant?
Trudy and Jimmy told me all about it. And it's good because you've written into it every point of fire prevention Chief Cody wants to get across.
Oh, Timmy, I thought you liked my play.
I do, Trudy. Because that play has action, life, real people talking, so the audience would listen to catch every word.
Mr. Collins, either you like everything, or you can't decide what you like.
I'll tell you what I would like, Miss Grebel, and what Chief Cody would like, too. A play with real people in it like Trudy's to put across all the points of fire prevention like yours.
Oh, my goodness, then we need some more writers and a whole new play, and there's only a week to go.
Well, why don't you girls, you ladies, why don't you get together, make one good play out of what you both have now?
Why, that's possible, but No, I don't like your methods, Mr. Collins.
I certainly won't if Miss Grebel won't. Us ladies stand together.
Well, then I've let Chief Cody down. He's the one that loses most, because I've failed on this assignment.
Oh, no. If it were for Chief Cody...
You hadn't practically kidnapped us, Tim Collins.
You know what the chief thinks of his fire prevention campaign. I just did what I did, hoping you'd see it from his side if I kept you here long enough to... Well, there, the door's open. You can go to your classes now. I'm sorry I kept you.
Well, if Miss Grebel would. Only for Chief Cody, though, and... I'm going to tell Mom what you did. You see if I don't, Timmy Collins.
Oh, now, Trudy, your brother was only trying to... Well, Trudy, we could try it. For Chief Cody?
After school this afternoon, shall we, Miss Grebel?
You be here in my office as soon as you can after dismissal. Now run along, dear.
Oh, yes, Miss Grebel. Oh, my goodness, I'm late as late.
Well, I'll tell Miss Lamini you were delayed for good reason.
Oh, thank you, Miss Grebel.
Maybe I could tell the principal you were late for good reason. Would that help, Miss Grebel?
Don't bother to do me any favors, Mr. Collins. I'm quite able to take care of myself.
And soon afterward, as Tim Collins reports to Chief Cody at headquarters, the young fireman confesses.
Oh, I've got myself in a jam, Chief. Both Trudy and Miss Grebel are mad at me now.
But the play, Collins, they're going on with that plan.
Well, for your sake, Chief, they're going to write a fire prevention play between them.
Good. We need that publicity for the campaign.
Oh, we'll get it, sir, but good grief, I'm in for a bad week.
Well, why don't you keep away from the school then, Collins? As long as they've decided to work together, why not drop out of sight? Huh?
Oh, that wouldn't be fair, Chief Cody.
Sounds like good judgment to me.
Oh, no, sir. You see, first thing in Miss Grebel's office, I bumped her head with mine.
What?
You know, clearing things off a chair, both stooping together.
Yeah, she has my sympathy. Those Collins' heads are hard as rock.
Oh, yes, sir. But she's entitled to one free swing at my skull with a book. And in fairness, I should be around when she decides it's time to collect.
Well, Tim Collins has succeeded in getting Miss Grebel and Trudy to cooperate for the sake of the fire prevention program. But what kind of a play will they turn out? For the Firefighters Brigade performance, just as it is presented in the auditorium at Northside School, listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody. Do you know how many jobs there are in a modern fire department? Well, there's the truck man, the member of a hook and ladder company. Now, his job is to ventilate a burning building, search for living creatures in need of rescue, and afterward, overhaul the ruins to prevent a new outbreak of flame. Well, next time I'll tell you about another job. So long for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear.
That's it. Let's go! Let's go! Firefighters!
Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go! Let's go! Firefighters!